as we now get into game number 5 here to determine our final finalist. That was the weirdest sentence of all time. But now, Derelict Watcher is our map, spawning down to the bottom left-hand corner here as our red Terran, representing Startail and Korea. Give it up for Bomber! And over the top right-hand corner, one game away from advancing on, representing Liquid and Korea. Give it up for Taeja!
And America, James. America. And you know, at the start of the game, you guys were not able to see this, but Taeja actually is splitting his SCVs in a very, very weird way. Of course, there's an auto split these days, but he actually had 3 SCVs just standing there for a small moment, kind of like they were not, he misplaced them, and then they were just standing there, and then he tried to, like, he was trying to stack his SCVs, but I think it's very clear that even Taeja right now can still get very nervous, as 3-4 SCVs were not mining for a good second, and you could see at his face, he was a little confused about that as well. In the grand scheme of things, it might not matter too much, you know, that's maybe 10, 15 minerals, but it's just those mental things that go into your head. It's like, this is game 5. I don't want anything to go wrong.
Oh my god, Bomber is going command center first. Bomber is going command center first in TVT, and Taeja actually has a reactor on the way. If this is designed for him to get a Reaper out very early, this could be massive. Bomber, with the supply depot at his mineral line, was playing it super economically. He wanted that SCV back to the minerals as quickly as possible. Command center first on the high ground. If he goes for a Reaper right now...
I mean, if he goes for a Reaper, that's good, but by the time that the Reaper is actually across the map, there will be a few Marines. I think that it's actually going to be fine for Bomber. Then again, Taeja has not really been a Reaper opener throughout this entire series. He is going to scout it with his SCV, but Bomber is fine for now.
Yeah, okay, so no Reaper, and Bomber is going to get away with this quite handily. He's following it over the gas as well.
Bomber is such an annoying player to play against because he's so unpredictable.
Exactly.
And then, of course, that makes champions, man. You just don't know what these guys do. And I must say, I've really got so much respect for our live as well lately, because in every single matchup, he just switches it up, even if it's just a few small things, you know, maybe a reactor a little bit quicker, or a straight up factory, or command center first, or a gas and then a command center. It just makes it so hard to play against these guys.
And Taeja, realizing that his opponent went command center first, he's like, I'm sending my Marines over there as
Not
quickly as
just
possible.
that. He's proxying something as well. Is that a proxy factory on the south side of the map? Yes, it is. Taeja is going to try to punish his opponent for this super greedy opening.
Wow. And again, this is why, well, and there's many reasons why you don't see this too often, but Bomber is going to try and make this work. And if there's anyone that can make it work, it's the unpredictability of Bomber.
2 orbital commands on the way already for him. That's a beautiful sight in your production tab at 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Then you know you're going to be able to mine a lot of minerals, but really be able to deal with whatever Taeja is going to throw it in. What do you think it is going to be? Is that going to be like a tech lab and then starport next to it?
I think so. I mean, the factory's really well placed, so the tech lab can go down just under the minerals. So it's this is certainly what he's going to be going for.
So those Banshees are going to arrive so soon, and it wouldn't be the very first time that we see a TVT just end straight up with that very first Banshee. We saw Bomber having excellent Banshee control in game number 1. Well, let's see how great Taeja's Banshee control is here in game 5. And, you know, he doesn't really have anything to worry about. It's going to take a long time for Bomber to get a Viking out. It's all going to come down to the control of Taeja.
Exactly. There's not going to be that many Marines. And unfortunately for Bomber, if he tries to scout out his opponent maybe with an earlier scan, he's not going to get too much indication that this is occurring, other than if he sees gases, etc. But now with this, the timing is so good here for Taeja that this could right out kill Bomber. It depends how well he has Marines.
Cloak Banshee, and right now actually Bomber is not even making any Marines. He's getting a reactor on his barracks, so that means that he only has 2 Marines out on the map right now. Sure, maybe by the time the Banshee arrives, it's 5 Marines, but 1 Banshee can easily out-micro 5 Marines.
He could just kill off the Marines and have free reign of this position for a long, long time. The starport's finishing up. If he does not get a Viking, instantly out of this, that's going to be scary. He's setting up the Widow Mine in the interesting position, because he's thinking that if there is a Viking there, he can try and lure it back with the Banshee.
Yeah, that is kind of cute. It's going to come down to the control. Oh, it's a Banshee opening over here for Bomber.
Oh, this could get really scary here. Bomber now, he doesn't know what's pending.
Dicey.
It could get dicey, man. It could get dicey. Got to go back to it. Well, that Banshee, he's following over the second Banshee as well. We have Marines out.
We have 5 Marines out right now, and soon to be 7. There is a Widowmine out on the map as well. If Bomber doesn't take too much damage of this, as Cloak is not ready yet, he might be fine, but once more, it's all going to go down to Micro.
Oh, he knows he wants to kill as many Marines as possible early on. He knows that his opponent's going to be low on the Marine count, so focusing those down is really important. That Widowmine, yeah, the engineering bay is scary.
I actually, oh, okay, the Widowmine is next to the engineering bay. That's kind of cute. There is a missile turret now over here as well. Mr. A little bit out of position. Not much mining for Bomber right now, but his opening is so much more economic. Oh, don't lose the Banshee.
Oh, Taeja! No, that's not what you want to be doing. Bomber getting a free pickup of that Banshee. It did little damage, but not what it wanted to do.
Oh, and the next Banshee might actually fly into the Widowmine. It's sort of close, but no.
No.
Oh, Bomber, that went pretty good for Bomber. He's still up 9 workers.
Bomber's had the opportunity here. He's been given salvation. And these Marines now, they have to run away a little bit. Otherwise, Bomber, Taeja might actually try and follow this up with something very aggressive, but he has a command center behind this.
Yep, Taeja does have a command center. Good scan here. Actually, that might be enough to take out this second Banshee as well. Excellent defense so far by Bomber.
Oh, Bomber, he's making all the right moves and now putting on the counter-aggression himself with this Banshee. We've seen how well Bomber's been controlling them. And Taeja, he has 8 Marines and one Widowmine here to try and stop this.
This is going to be really annoying for Taeja also because his starport is so far away. So it's not like when a Viking pops, it can help out immediately. Bomber is putting himself in a fantastic position so far here in game number 5.
Yeah, very, very impressive. The way he's handled that, the advantage he has back at home, 42 workers to 29. And this Banshee's not done yet. He's going to keep trying to poke away.
Yes, the turret is ready right now, but still, he might still be able to get a few SCVs here and there. Look at the supplies. This is 70 supply against 48, and we're not even at the 10-minute mark yet.
And yeah, that Banshee's still doing the damage it wants to. Right now, Taeja's down to 5 Marines alone. So Bomber, he's an opportunist. He sees how many Marines he's killed. He might actually say, I'm going to go for a push very, very quickly once my economy is in a situation that it wants to be, and it's getting close to that.
It's 35 against 46 workers right now, but Taeja is on triple orbital, and we all know what triple orbital can do for you. At the same time, once more, he's going to be able to, or he's going to try to pick off a couple of SVs over here. Bomber has not shown us any signs yet of a third command center.
Oh, bye-bye, Banshee. There's no way you're getting out of there. And once again, army supplies, well, I mean, units lost. He's killed off 10 workers, but it's not been enough to equalize it up just yet.
Yeah, but he has a third orbital behind him, which I spotted a little bit later, and that's actually going to be really good. Of course, the tech for Taeja is going to be quite delayed with everything that has unfolded so far in this game. And you know, how's Bomber going to go at it? Bomber was in a fantastic position like a good 2 minutes ago. Right now, I'm actually like, with that third orbital, if nothing is going to happen in the near future, like his team is going to be a little quicker. +1 is way quicker for Bomber.
Yeah, the thing that I can see that's kind of scary for Taeja is that he's only just added on 2 barracks. They've only just finished and he's adding on tech labs to those. Bomber's reactors finished on his barracks a lot earlier than this. Now his production is going to ramp up heavily here, whilst Taeja is trying to catch up with an extra 2 barracks going down as well. So Bomber with this push could do quite a bit.
Bomber might be able to get some sort of a soft contain on his opponent.
Yeah.
I mean, having 3 orbital commands is great, but as long as you're not mining off 3 bases, and eventually, you know, it's kind of gonna defeat its purpose a little bit. While Bomber, if he has map control, look at this little Widowmine, what a hero.
He's
oh my God, he might actually.
What is going on?
What is this?
What's happening? No.
No.
What the? How did this happen?
Lol.
He only got
well,
2
that was
kills.
like the worst shot that Widowmine could have ever taken.
Oh, poor little guy. He did so well, and then all for that. Oh well. Anyway, Bomber now, army supplies, 59 to 39. It reflects very heavily on what we were saying before about his production capabilities.
He is able to get a contain on Taeja, and then with his own third command center pretty much finishing up right now, he's probably morphing it into an orbital. As soon as he actually starts mining off 3 bases for real, not just having 3 orbitals, but mining off 3 bases, he is still going to put himself in a really good position. We can see him actually marching across the map right now, and I think this is an excellent decision. As long as he can keep Taeja on 2 bases for quite a while reinforcing this push. Of course, this is not an army that he can just lose. because that would throw away his entire advantage.
And Bomber's even worked in 2 Vikings, which are going to control the skies for now against Taeja once this position is established. Again, the supply count's very much in favor of Bomber here.
The Marine count is heavily in favor of Bomber. Taeja has more siege tanks, but he has to make sure that he sieges them up in a proper position. He's floating over his orbital right now. He's going to have to pull it back real soon, because if that orbital dies, then Taeja's going to find himself in a really dicey position.
Yeah, he certainly is. Those Marines will have to pull back here. Taeja has to pull away with the siege tanks as well. He knows he's in trouble. Bomber has too big an army.
Yep, but still, this could have been a lot worse if he would have lost a couple of those tanks, and he would have lost everything. Because he's down a solid 20 Marines, and he doesn't even have stim yet. Bomber does have stim.
Doesn't want to go too far here. Taeja now contained, and we will see Bomber try and land his expansion in just a bit. But at the same time, Taeja realizes that that could happen. So he has a drop positioned over to this left-hand side to try and deny that a little bit.
Yeah, not just that. Yeah, Taeja needs to buy time for himself as well. He's down a solid 40 supply.
Yeah.
You know, he's kind of saying he's going to try to intercept his reinforcements, but I actually think that army from Bomber is stronger.
Yeah, those 2 siege tanks providing a lot of firepower from the back, as well as the Marines just chasing them down. Nothing is going right here for Taeja. 109 army supply to 73. A good position with those siege tanks for Taeja, but at the same time, still needs some Vikings.
This is really hard, man. This is a terrible position to be in if you're Taeja right now.
Yeah.
He's shown us before that he's able to work with those hard positions. Is Bomber actually retreating right now with the majority of his army?
He's just bringing it up in for a good concave here as Taeja tries to break on out, but I don't think it's going to be doable, as a lot of Marines do die there, but still, army advantages significantly in favor of Bomber. 111 to 60. Bomber doing so well here.
Oh, I love how he did that. He just reset the Marine count, and he's like, all right, I'm not going to run into all those siege tanks, because I don't have to. I am on 3 bases and you are not. And I just resetted everything.
Yeah, it's a huge advantage here right now for Bomber. 66 Marines to 24.
Oh my god.
But Taeja, with these siege tanks, if Bomber overextends, he could lose a lot. But even then, his army's massive.
But I love the Marine control in the last fight of Bomber, and I know that, I mean, it is his game right now. It is Bomber's game to lose. He's only going to lose this game if he heavily messes up.
Taeja looking to try and establish that position. He has to do something. He has to break out of this. Otherwise, he has his lights turned down.
Perhaps he's waiting for +2 to finish up for his Marines, but you know, +2 is already ready for Bomber. Bomber even working on the +3 and working on +2 armor as well, working on double eBay.
Oh, he thinks that his opponent's third base isn't down yet. He thinks he's committed more to this than he actually has, as Bomber's income is rocketing ahead right now. And Taeja, he's got his third base down. Neither player can move just yet, but Bomber could sacrifice once he's maxed. Oh, look at this. He has so many units. So many.
Bomber is pretty much maxed out. This drop from Taeja might be able to do a little bit of damage in the natural, though. But you're right. Taeja has never, ever spotted that third base from Bomber. I can only assure that he kind of feels like it's actually there, but he has never seen it.
I am very surprised that Bomber gave up that position for just a second there, but now he realizes he's coming back. He's cleaned up what was going on back at home, and this drop, this third base,
Seeker missile going down as well on one of the siege tanks, but this is indeed a very big drop for Bomber. Taeja is going to have to keep this orbital alive. If he loses the orbital, he will pretty much lose everything.
But at the same time, Taeja committing a lot to this assault. This might provoke Bomber to move in through the middle of the map. No, he's bringing his forces here to reinforce at that location. So Bomber still playing this out a little more cautiously.
So many medevacs loaded up right now.
Oh, Triss trying to bring up a load of those Marines to deny that third base as best as he can do. Very clever move.
He's just starving out Taeja. Look at the bank from Bomber. Bomber is maxed out. He's on 2,500 minerals. Taeja is on 150 supply and has no money.
He noticed the unsiege. He's going to try and pick up as many of those siege tanks while stealing off the Marines as well. Bomber with still a huge supply advantage. 120 army supply against 71. This could be Bomber's time here as Taeja waning in army supply, but tries to hold him back again.
But Bomber's still in this comfortable position where he knows that he is mining on 3 bases. His opponent is not. Going to cast a couple of Seeker missiles because he can. And, you know, it's for free anyways. Taeja all the way down to 113 supply. Finally, we are going to see Bomber once more in the final of a major tournament.
We certainly may end up doing this here. He does deny the third base, but still Bomber with massive advantages at the front. An advantage in his weapons upgrades as well. Constant production here and making sure that Taeja cannot buy from that base. Instantly locking him down completely now.
75 Marines against 31. You know, Taeja's probably going to try to pull all the SCVs eventually because that's like the only thing you can do in a scenario like this. Look at this engagement.
Oh, Bomber here taking it to Taeja, and now Taeja down and out. Bomber doubling Taeja's army supply, and Taeja is all but spent. GG!